It's a Saturday morning baseball for breakfast edition of Cards Hub 365, powered by Gray Bar here on Sports Hub STL, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Ethan Hannaford. Ethan, I know you and I had talked about getting into a Matthew Liberatore start and talking about last night's game, but I mean, immediately already in the chat, people are already against Matthew Liberatore today. Jonathan just ready to go with numbers on this. No faith at all in the Cardinals' big lefty. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I guess on one hand, you give fans credit for doing their research and at least they're passionate. But on the other hand, there's no faith. What about Juan Soto and what he's done this year? It's been a little bit of a slow start to the year for the Mets big man who just got that new contract in the offseason. How 700 something, whatever it was, 65 million or what? I can't keep up with how freaking massive these contracts are these days. But yeah, I mean, you know, lefty. Let's see if Libby can eat a little bit here against Soto, who in his last 7 games is batting 125. In his last 15 games is batting 218. Listen, this guy's going to have a great year. He's off to a little bit of a slow start. But let's not discredit what Matthew Liberatore has done here in his last couple of starts. Seems like he's really starting to put things together, and let's hope that he can get things on the right track here today for St. Louis.
The biggest number to me that I think Derek Gould wrote about it today in his piece: 18 strikeouts, 1 walk. You are going to be effective at you are going to be effective at any point in baseball if you do not give up free bases. And you saw that last night. The Cardinals had the opportunity to win. They struck out, was it 15 times last night? And Mets pitching walked none of them. Gave the Cardinals 0 free opportunities last night. Matthew Liberatore has stayed in games and has been able to pitch deep in games because he is not getting deep into counts and is not walking guys.
Yeah, we actually we got a stat sent to us on that last night on the Cardinals' number of strikeouts. Here it is. The Mets starting pitching have posted the most strikeouts by opposing pitchers in consecutive starts against the Cardinals this season. And that was just the starting pitchers, and they had 17 combined. The last starting pitcher with more was Hayden Birdsong at the end of the 2024 season. So the Mets getting it done with the back end of their pitching. Not ideal for St. Louis because it's going to get a little bit more challenging, I think, here potentially in these next couple of days. Kodai Senga, a guy that's had some success to start off the year and has had some success in his young Major League Baseball career. So the offense, you know, they still were able to step up at times last night. They ended up putting 4 runs on the board. They knotted it in the 9th. That Stefan and Brendan talked about it a little bit on last night's show. I was impressed early in that when I was driving home from work and I'm listening on the radio. I'm like, Citi Field sounds very alive and active tonight. The crowd was involved. I love the singing during Francisco Lindor's walk-up song. Very interactive. It was a Friday night New York City crowd, and you traditionally think about the Yankees in that sense, but the Mets had it last night, and you kind of got that feeling. Oh man, this might be a tough one. Might be a tough atmosphere to play in, but it's also good for some of those young guys to experience more and more of that, because in today's baseball, boy, is there less of that feels like there ever has been. You think 10 years ago, half the ballparks probably have that. And now I would say it's just a handful of them that have that on a day in, day out basis. And I don't even know if I would put Busch Stadium in that right now to start off the season, unfortunately. So hopefully they get back to that. But I say all that to say Mets pitching has been good. They have outplayed. They have outpitched the Cardinals bats, which have been red hot to start off the season. Let's hope that things can turn around here in Game 3 of the series, because this team's already off to a 1-7 start on the road, which is a concern. And we're gonna, I'm sure, continue to dissect the deeper into the season we get, if those are concerning numbers or if that's just a abnormal kind of crazy random stat to start off the year, if there's anything to that. But there's no doubt that the Cardinals have to be better on the road. And, you hope that they can come back and split this series. That was kind of the hope all along. If you can split 4-game series on the road, then you're going to be okay. But losing 3 out of 4 against this Mets team that is coming off of a series loss against the Minnesota Twins, who are off to a terrible start this year, that would be a tough pill to swallow for Cards fans.
Absolutely. The atmosphere last night when, again, to be a Mets fan right now, I know that the media is really getting on Juan Soto for his start. That's not that bad. It's not. I mean, I don't. Are we expecting an 800 average for the length of this 15-year deal? Like, I don't know what the expectation is of Juan Soto. I mean, it's a 15-year deal. Because he's not starting off the season red hot, you just give it time to, there's a lot of injuries on this club too. You don't have the full team, but to have ownership in New York, the way they do, that is willing to go out and spend the massive amount of money that they are, the fans should be showing up and they should be excited for the product that's on the field and be supporting it, because fans beg and beg and beg for their ownership to go spend that kind of money. So when they do, the fans have to go out and they have to show up to the games. So it's a two-way street here. And so, yeah, a Friday night in New York, that place better have been rocking.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, Juan Soto is going to get it going. This is a guy that's a top 3 player in baseball. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's one of the best in the game. So it's a matter of time before it's going to start clicking for him. So patience is the name of the game. I know that there's been some stuff floating around with Mets media in the last couple of days, some entertaining clips about the frustration. I get it. I understand the frustration. But, I mean, players are, even Juan Soto, even Shohei Ohtani, no matter how much they're making, they're still going to have their moments of slumping. That's part of baseball. I mean, you're not above that. Nobody's above that. So it's going to be a part of it, and Juan Soto is going to be completely fine. Let's just hope that, like we were hoping with Yordan Alvarez, we didn't entirely get it. We hit that home run in the second game of that series. Let's hope that he figures it out after the series.
But Shohei Ohtani this weekend out on paternity leave, which wish I would have known that ahead of time before yesterday's Roddy Bombs picks voided 1/3 of my. It just voids the bet. It doesn't cost me anything. It just voids. That's DraftKings just takes it off of that. Just completely takes it off of the bet there, and you just don't get those the odds the way you would have for any. It just changes the odds for that. Speaking of DraftKings Pick Six, the sponsor here of all of our content on Sports Hub STL. Baseball season officially underway. It's time to step up to the plate with DraftKings Pick Six. DraftKings Pick Six, your fastball right down the middle, the easiest way to pay for cash and take a shot at a big win. Download DraftKings Pick Six app and use code STL Sports. That's STL Sports for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick Six not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos.
We have lineups for the game later on this afternoon. It's a 3:05 start time in Queens. It's a game that is on TV on Fox. And here is what the Cardinals are going to line up against Kota Senga. Lars Nootbaar back in the leadoff spot, playing right field. Wilson Contreras is at first. Brendan Donovan in left. Nolan Arenado at third. Burleson is DHing. Thomas Saggese is at short. Nolan Gorman at second. Joel Pozo behind the plate. And Victor Scott II is in center field. So a day off for Jordan Walker, who is 1 for 2 against Kota Senga with a home run in his career. Faced him last year, homered off of him last year, and not getting the start today. I imagine a scheduled day off for Jordan Walker in that one. I didn't get a chance to see all of the game last night, so not sure if there was anything that jumped out that might make him unavailable tonight.
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head. Ali Marmol has talked about how this coaching staff is going about setting this lineup up, and they're basically constructing it a series or two out in advance, and not specifically each spot per se, but more so who's going to be where are we looking at days off wise for this guy, and sometimes those get adjusted closer to if a guy's feeling good, he'll say, hey, can we push this back maybe to tomorrow or to the end of the series, things like that. But in large part, these are being planned out a little bit further in advance. And I can tell you that in some cases, it's probably before the probable starters for that game are out. Jordan Walker had been slumping a little bit in recent ABs. He's 6 for his last 28. Did have that one home run. It looked all right last night. Had the RBI single, hit a couple of balls hard, but overall, this recent stretch of games has cooled off a little bit. I think we're starting to see trends of things that we saw from him last year. He's been starting to chase a little bit more outside of the zone. Things that at the beginning of the year impressed, and we were saying, hey, this is great that Jordan Walker is looking better in these specific areas as far as just plate discipline goes. It's been starting to be a little bit less disciplined in recent outings, so I'm sure that Brant Brown and this hitting staff is all over that, making sure that he doesn't revert back to any old habits. Still have seen some positive stuff from Jordan Walker this year, but yeah, I'm sure this is nothing more than a scheduled day off.
Nolan Arenado is 1 for 6 against Senga with a home run. Alec Burleson 0 for 5. Wilson Contreras 1 for 5. Brendan Donovan 1 for 4. Nolan Gorman 0 for 3. That is the list of players that have started against Kota Senga.
You're getting me fired up for this one today, Joe.
He's a good pitch. I mean, he's a really good pitcher with some really good stuff. So to look at these numbers, it's one of those things. It's not, this shouldn't come as a surprise.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, you hope that the Cardinals can turn it around, but it's all small sample sizes too. I think that's important to remember, is that it's not like we're seeing a scenario where each of these guys has faced him 15, 20 times. I mean, baby sample sizes. So I don't take much from that. I take more from it if a guy is absolutely ripping him in those 6 at-bats. But, I mean, it's 6 at-bats. That's what, 2 starts, probably 3 starts max. So not much from that. Let's hope that the Cardinals can jump on them today, because they most definitely need a win.
This is also the 3rd start now that Joel Pozo has caught for Matthew Liberatore. So that is telling that it seems like the Cardinals want to stick with one catcher with Liberatore, and it seems like this is Pozo's day whenever Liberatore is on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the success that Matthew Liberatore has had in his last couple of starts. It continues to improve. You talked about the walk rate and how that continues to grow. I loved the way that he was throwing his slider in his last outing. I took a look at his pitch breakdowns for the last couple of outings. And I noticed that on the 13th, which was a week ago tomorrow, 14 whiffs on 40 swings, and 10 of them were on his sliders. And prior to that, he had 7 whiffs on sliders in his 2 combined starts. So I mentioned all that to say that the slider was working in Matthew Liberatore's last start. We know that the fastball has some zip on it, but in baseball, you have to be more than a one-pitch kind of guy. And we know he has other ones. We know that he gets that curveball working sometimes, and he's got the cutter, the changeup. But we're starting to see that slider really develop as a solid pitch for Matthew Liberatore. If he can continue to get swings and misses, especially today against a good Mets lineup where there is some guys that have some solid plate discipline, like Juan Soto, like Francisco Lindor, then I'm going to be even more encouraged by what we've seen from Matthew Liberatore.
3:00 game today in Queens for the Cardinals and Mets. Ethan, you and Chris Pelican on the post game show for that one. So look forward to seeing you guys break it all down, and hopefully a Cardinal victory, because as you mentioned, 1-7 on the road this year is not a good way to start the season.
No, it is not. Let's hope that the Cardinals are able to get a win today. Let's hope Matthew Liberatore is able to work quickly so we can get through all this, and then it can just bridge perfectly into some Blues hockey tonight, where we'll have the post-game coverage for that one as well. So Sports Hub STL, it is the spot to be for all of your St. Louis sports coverage on a rainy Easter weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, he is Ethan Hannaford. I am Joe Roderick. This has been Cards Hub 365, powered by Gray Bar. Again, a very busy sports Saturday, and we are kicking you off here soon. We got Battlehawks postgame, Cardinal postgame, City postgame, Blues postgame, and Thomas Welch getting his head shaved today, all on a packed Saturday. Oh, yeah, and a WrestleMania preview because that's also tonight, and that's the most important thing going on today in the world of sports and this entire weekend. So lock in for a big weekend here on Sports Hub STL. He's Ethan Hannaford. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you next time right here.